Hi guys, and welcome back to Amy's Art Table. Today I have this really cool building sketch I thought I would share with you. So let's get a cozy seat and grab our watercolor supplies. I'm also going to use a Prismacolor brush tip marker, which is a fine point marker. So you can use a Sharpie or any other waterproof marker that you might have lying around. And I'm going to use an acrylic golden color. You can also use gouache, but anything that will show up over this black dark building. So let's gather our supplies and we'll get started. To get started, you could sketch out each different rectangle, but I'm going to attempt to show you how to freehand this. So I'm going to grab a medium brush and I'm going to start with a real light gray color. So I'm going to grab some gray here with a bit of white. Mix up this nice gray color. And I'm going to start with a building out front that's a light gray color. Most of these buildings are going to be rectangular shaped, so you can also sketch with your pencil different rectangles on different sizes and shapes. To get you started, if you need somewhere, some sort of a reference point, you can make some that are wider and some that are taller and some that are shorter. I'm going to start with this guy right out front. It's nice light gray with a nice pitched roof. I had a lot of fun doing the building drawing tutorial. That was a few months ago, so if you check back in my videos, you'll see that one. It's all about how to do buildings with Sharpie and yellow. But today I thought we would do another fun one about the city. Okay, so I've got this gray building here. And then I'm going to go on over to this side, make another gray building. This one's going to be behind a couple buildings. So it's going to have the shape of the buildings that are in front of it as well. If that makes sense. I'm going to envision a building here that's a rectangle, and here that is a stair-step rectangle. So I'm going to draw what is behind it. I'm going to paint rather, what is behind those two buildings. Okay. So it's going to be something like this. You can sort of start to imagine what's out front. Later on in this lesson, I'll show you how to detail out all of the windows with the fine tip marker. You're going to want to use a waterproof marker on that part. Okay, so now I've got those two buildings, and then looks like this building here is a little lighter. So I'm going to go with even a lighter gray, almost an ivory color, white. This came out a little bit tanner, but that's okay. So I'm going to do a lighter color here. And we can even go back and darken this one just a bit. So this is just a straight rectangle building here. So we go all the way down and stay the same width. Okay. Something like that. I'm going to go back with a little bit darker of a gray. I'm going to darken this building just a touch, just so it sort of stands out more. Now I'm working light to dark color, and the reason for that is because in watercolor, it is a lot harder to add light colors. Once you go too dark, you can't really go back lighter. Okay, so we want to start with our lighter colors. I'm going to add a little detail to the top of this roof here, which is really just a bunch of rectangles stacked up. All right, something like that. I'll let that work on drying. I'm going to move over to the background back here, which is even lighter gray. See if I can make that color by mixing in some white. All right, so the next building comes alongside here. It's a little bigger. And it does, let's see, actually it goes down further. This is all gray. I have another building here. Okay, so something like this. We'll fill all this in with a light colored gray here. So technically in my original, this one is darker than this one. So we can easily fix that by giving this guy another coat of gray. And we'll make this one the lighter one that's in the background. All right, so that one is in the back bag. Then we've got another building here. While we have this light gray color, we're going to make this little bridge piece here, which is kind of cool. I like this drawing and painting because it's just a lot of different shapes all put together and it looks awesome. Looks so city-ish, but really you'll see that it's a lot of rectangles and arches and squares and all kinds of different colors. Okay, so that has a little bridge that is connecting it. It's connecting it behind this yellow building somewhere. We're not really sure where, but it's a nice little detail. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to this color and I'm going to use that here. Grab a little bit of this tan gray with some white. Start adding this building in here. When I get to this point, there's going to be an orange building that's cutting this here. And then there is a stair step there. So this building has two buildings in front of it. It's just a really fun sketch. You don't even have to follow the buildings the way that I'm making them. You can make your own buildings and you can use different colors, and then you can add the windows and marker detail just the same as I'm going to. It's just giving you an idea of something that you can sketch at home. All right. So there we go. That's coming together. Now, like I said, this one and this one are almost the same color. So let's go ahead and darken this to a little bit of darker gray. I don't want it to be quite black, but I want this guy to stand out against the one that's behind it. All right. Okay, so that's that. Now the next lighter color scheme in this painting, I'm going to say, is going to be all the yellows. So I'm going to make this guy and then this guy. I try to go from lightest to darkest, okay? So grab a yellow that we like. Grab this nice yellow here. Now, this yellow building lands right about here. Goes up to here and in front of the bridge. Down. Just go over just a bit. There we go. Yellow all the way down to the ground here. There we go. All right, now we're going to pick a different color yellow for the building that is behind it. Come over here and use this brighter yellow. It's almost a little neon. Okay, this brighter yellow comes up almost to the dead center of this stair step. Comes over. And so really we're just making a ton of rectangles. We'll work on the sky later too. Lots of rectangles, okay. Okay, so we have those. So the next color I'm going to work on is an orange. So I'll choose a nice orange here, and this building goes over here on the left. So a little watercolor can really go a long way. I haven't even added more orange to my brush and I'm already halfway down this building. And sometimes you can just add just a touch more with more water. All right, that nice orange color. Now I'm going to move on to a reddish orange. Let's see. Nice reddish orange here on the side. This one is going to go, let's see, down one step. Just kind of have to imagine that other building is in front of it. All the way down and over. Awesome. That's looking great. Okay, and then the last building that's missing is the black building. So let's go ahead and grab some black on my brush. Lots of water when using black because you don't want it to come out too dark. I'm just going to take it slow, make an outline, fill in that outline. Okay. So now I've got most of these buildings in place. This gray one looks like it's kind of snug between this one and the yellow and this one. So I think what I'm going to do is go back with a little bit of gray here and just widen this up. This is dry, so now I can just widen this guy just a little bit so he doesn't look so snug in between these buildings. All right. Here we go, something like that. Looks a little bit better. Okay. So now, if your buildings are dry up here, which mine are, working pretty quickly actually on this, you can go ahead and take some water. We can do some wet on wet watercolor. We don't have to do the whole sky wet on wet watercolor, but we can paint the page up here with some water. And if you want to add multiple colors of blue, this is a good time to do that. Or if you'd like to just keep it to one light blue color, that's cool too. I think I will start with a light blue. Get that to bleed a little. Right, and I might add a little darker blue. On my original, I just added light blue, but I'm thinking now it might be fun to make the sky a little more creative. So just let that kind of bleed. All right, guys, so now we have the sky and the buildings in place, which is essentially our background today. So we will let this dry. Want it to dry pretty well for about 20 minutes, and then we will come back and do some marker line work, okay? You will still need your watercolors though, because I did do a little bit of this work in watercolor. So I'll see you back in about 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes. All right, guys, so now that this sky has had a chance to dry, I'm going to start working on some line work with my brush tip Prismacolor marker. I'm going to use this black waterproof marker just in case I need to go back over anything. This will not smear with the watercolor. Okay, so I'm going to very carefully just start putting in windows. Start up here on this one with some open windows. I'll show you the different patterns. We'll do some line work here just to make a little gate. Little railing, I should say, not a gate. Okay, so I'll do these types of windows all the way down. On this building, we'll do a filled-in window. And the idea here is just to use a mix of different line strokes to differentiate the buildings. Here we'll do dash, 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 and then a line, dash, 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 almost like a road. This one we'll do just dashes. These are all different things that you can do all the way down your building to show what the building looks like. This one we will do just lines across. This one we will do lines up and down. And then we will do lines close together. Okay, so these are different ways of doing line work. Up here, we'll fill this in with 2 rows of windows, and then we'll start doing a different pattern. All right, so these are all different kinds of line work that we can use, and I'm also going to use a dark red-orange color for this building and this building, as you can see in my original sketch. And then on this one is where I'll use the golden color, either acrylic or gouache paint, something that will cover over the black. And now I'm going to fill all that in, and you guys can watch along and fill in yours too. Okay guys, so last step will just be this golden color. Grab a palette. And add just a little bit of this golden color to this building here. Grab a small brush. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any requests, let me know. Something that you really want to see me paint, that I can help you paint. We have Valentine's Day coming up too, so we'll have a couple paintings for that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this city art here. If you like drawing buildings, check out my big building drawing tutorial. That one's fun too. Use a lot of Sharpie line work in that. And yeah, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you like my videos. And I will be back soon with something new. Hope you all have an awesome day and a lovely rest of your January. So here we are. 2 building tutorials here. And I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you guys next time.